All right, there we go. Hello, everybody, and happy Thursday. It's Kourtney here with Scrapbook-N-Memories in Harrisonville, Missouri, and we are doing Crafty Hour number 91. Oh, I can't believe we're at 91. So the kit we were playing with is this fabulous one that we put together for you with the new Arden release. It's called Garden Chronicles. So in it, you're going to have laser cuts. Slidden in your laser cuts, you're going to, excuse me, I have to go get my water. You're going to find your rub-ons. That's what I did for my kit. I just kind of slid it in to kind of save packaging. And then there is the paper. So we gave you a half a paper pack. If any of my girls are wanting to grab more of the papers and the rub-ons, we do have those in stock now. We are unfortunately sold out of the lasers. Excuse me. Hey, Ken, can you bring me my water? Sure. Evidently, I'm going to start coughing. So, welcome everybody. And whoop, that is Crafty Hour number 91. So, we're going to kind of get started. So, I did a little bit different this time. Thank you. My giant mug of water. Put it over there. So I kind of did something a little different. I loved this paper. This paper was gorgeous and stunning, and I loved it. So I'm going to do a traditional Kourtney card with lots of clustering. We're going to kind of cluster and make lots of layers. And then I was staring at this paper and these embellishments, and I just fell in love with the paper, and I hated to cover it. There was so much beautifulness to the papers that I just couldn't cover them. So we're going to do 3 others, so 4 cards total, one with lots of layers, and then the other 3 are going to be kind of more clean and simple cards that showcase the paper and showcase the embellishments. So this will be the second one. I made this one all with the laser cuts. There was gorgeous little layering laser cuts in there. So that is going to be all laser cuts. Then we've got this one. That background paper was gorgeous. And again, I didn't want to cover it up because it was so pretty. So we're going to add a little rub-ons. I added little rub-ons on there. And then we're just going to add some laser cuts again. Nice, quick, and easy. And then this one, there were so many butterflies in this pack. I mean, usually we only get 3 or 4 butterflies, and there's like a shortage of butterflies. This pack had tons of butterflies. So I wanted to play with just the butterflies and have another clean, simple card with that. So we're going to get started because we're going to see 3 of them are pretty simple and easy, but I'm worried still we might not make it through all 4, but the other ones are pretty simple and easy. So if we don't make it through them, I'll just post the pictures and you guys can figure that out. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit. And first thing we're going to need is black card bases. I said just have black A2 card bases, and that's what we're going to use. The paper this pattern paper looked gorgeous on craft, but I liked it on the black too. It just kind of made it pop and gave it a little extra something something. So grab some black cardstock. And you know what, guys? I usually use this side for my videos for our new at 2. I'm going to flip so we just have black, so we don't have any of that pattern bothering us. There we go. It might get a little bit of busy there. Okay, now we're going to have black on black. I don't know if that's any better. We're going with it. It's going to work. So we've got our cardstock. We're just going to cut A2 cardstock. So 8.5 by 11. We're going to put it in our trimmer sideways. We're going to cut it at 5.5. And then just score in half. So we'll make 4 card bases. And I had this on your homework list, so you guys probably already have this done. But I'm just going to do it really quickly here for maybe some of you that didn't do it yet on those. So we're going to do those, and then we're just going to fold it in half and score. Happy Thursday. How's everybody doing? Tomorrow will be the announcement of our next Crafty Hour. The collection is called, everybody should have had the same Everybody should have the same paper. It is called, oh, the paper is called Vintage Makers Ledgers Essentials. So we kind of pieced things together. So the paper is Garden Chronicles, the laser cuts, and then the paper is the Vintage Makers Ledgers Essentials. So yes, we did kind of piece two different ones together. Sorry about that. Sorry if I confused you, Deb. Did I give you guys different paper than what Clipper Street had? Did we not coordinate this? I thought we should have the same paper. Okay, let me fold that in half. I only got to watch a little bit of Jennifer's. Thank you, Susan. Yeah, it was kind of busy, Matt. It's pretty, but it gets kind of busy when we're trying to craft. So we'll just flip her over. That's the lovely thing about two sides. Okay, so I'm just scoring my paper in half. And this is Crafty Hour number 92. Crafty Hour number 92. So everybody should have the same contents. The name of the paper is different than the name of the laser cuts. And I'll show you the paper in a second. Okay, Mary says hers is the same. Okay, so there's that. We're going to start with the paper. So pull your paper out. And what we're going to look for is in your paper pad, you've got 2 sheets of these lovely laser cuts, these punch outs. Put these to the side. We will come back to these. We are going to use those. And then, so the first piece of paper we're working with is going to be this one right here. Okay. On the back, it looks like that. On this side, it's got that nice flower. So that is the piece of paper that we're going to be grabbing out of our kit. And all of our measurements are going to be really simple on this. I wanted a nice bold paper border. This is a 6 by 4 piece of paper. And when you cut it in half, you basically get 2 card fronts, right? 6 by 8, sorry, 6 by 8. So we cut it in half, and that does the 4 inches. So you can get 2 cards out of it with that nice big border. So we're going to put it in our trimmer so it is wider than it is tall, and we're going to cut it in half. So we're cutting it right at 4 inches. You can put this piece of paper to the side. We're not going to use this side. So we're going to cut it at 4 inches. And then we are going to flip it and do it at 5 1/4. 5 1/4. And when I flipped it, I cut off the top portion. I felt like that didn't kind of match it, and I felt like this framed it really nice on the card. So we're going to turn it sideways. So your flower pot is going to be what we're keeping, and we're cutting off that name strip at the top. So we're going to do it at 5 1/4. So 5 1/4. And see how that just cuts it off perfectly, so you can use that for something else. So just kind of put that in a pile, and we'll use that for something else. Okay, I inked the edges of everything with mine with brown. I have Vintage Photo, one of my favorites, one of my tried trues that I use for everything. Gathered Twigs is really nice too, but it has a deeper brown to it. And I need to get some of the new 49 and Market ones too, because they have some very lovely colors. And since they match and coordinate with their papers, I need to grab some of those. And they just released 7 new colors on Tuesday, and we have those in stock too, along with the re-inkers. Okay, so we're just going to glue that piece of paper down, and it is going smack dab right in the center of our A2 card front, our standard size card front, and we're just going to glue her flat. Easy peasy. And I'll raise it up because it may be hard to see the black on black, but you're just centering it right on there, okay? All right, so in the homework, I told you to have a black, I have notes on here, a black die cut from Uniquely Creative postage, or a piece of black paper. And that black paper can be 1 1/4 by 4 1/2. And what I mean is this guy right here. So this is from Uniquely Creative. I know a bunch of you guys have it. If any of my girls need it, we are sold out of it, but I'm going to place an order next week with Uniquely Creative so I can add it to the order. But it cuts this guy out. I know we've used this in one of the previous Crafty Hours too, so I think a lot of you guys grabbed it. So I just punched it out in black. I think it's really pretty. It has little postage stamps on it. If you don't have this die, just cut a piece of black cardstock that is 1 1/4 by 4 1/2, and it will be perfect. Okay, so what I wanted to do is I wanted to showcase these rub-ons. I loved the rub-ons have white to them. If you would have put that white on that cardstock, you wouldn't have really seen it or noticed it. So what I wanted to do was have a dark cardstock, the black cardstock, to put that on there so you can see that the colored rub-ons look really nice on dark surfaces. Okay, those look really nice. So we're going to grab our rub-ons. And in your rub-ons, you're going to look for the one that has white on it. It's this one right here. It has all these white splotches. Now, I used the one that was right here on my first one. And of course, the rub-ons only have one of each in it. So for these next ones, I'm just going to use something different. Use whatever you want, because technically it's just a layer. It's a layer in the background. And I wanted to showcase how the rub-ons work on different surfaces. So for this one, I'm just gonna wonka. I always say it's like my little Pac-Man. I'm just gonna chunk out that one in the corner. But like I said, my previous one I did, we're gonna do right there. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're just going to randomly put it on here. And I'm going to put a scrap piece of paper behind this, because I don't want, my rub-ons will stick to my mat. And I don't want my rub-ons to do that. Okay, so we're just going to pull that off. And we're just going to randomly lay it on here. And you're just going to randomly rub your rub-on. Easy as that, right? Rub your rub-on and then peel it off. Oh, and I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to end up with the rub-on on my nail, because now it's art. It will not come off your nails. That's okay. It's time to switch nails anyways. My rub-on. There we go. Got a little hurry. So we're just going to put our rub-on on there. And if you happen to get the rub-on here around the little postage part, just take your fingernail, take your paper piercer, whatever you have, and just kind of rub it around that. And that will rub the rub-on around those holes. Okay, so see how that works? See how nice the white rub-ons look on black? So any of the colored rub-ons are going to work really nice on that. Okay, I think Facebook is not showing messages again, so I have to keep it and refresh to make sure if I see any new messages. Okay, so there we go. And then we're just going to do the same thing on the rest of it. Let's see. I'm going to put that one there. And we're just layering it on. It does not have to be perfect, because these are random. They are meant to be random and meant to be layered. And see how nice they work? Okay. And then no rub-on goes unused. There's little spots on here, little rain ones. We're just going to put those randomly on there. And like I said, it's just going to be a layer. Okay, so we're going with that. Isn't that lovely? See how nice those rub-ons stick on? These rub-ons are just stunning. Okay, so there we go. Everybody have that? Just some fun rub-ons on the back of that. Okay, so we prepped that piece. And it's going to get glued down, and we're just going to glue it flat. And when I glue it, I kind of want to floof this one, foof it a little bit, give it a little bit of lift so it's not so flat. But we're just going to put some liquid adhesive, kind of a little bit on the back, and then we're just going to glue that down to our card slightly at an angle. I don't like to always do my clusters straight because then it looks too clean. But there we go. There we go. Okay, now we're going to go for our laser cuts. So you're going to dig out. You should have a fresh, oh, you won't have a fresh pack. I have a fresh pack. You'll have a pack that Jennifer has already picked from earlier this morning. So we're going to pull those out, and we're going to pull our lasers together. Okay. So on here, we're going to open it up. We're going to grab this little leaf guy right here. So we'll just punch him out. And they do have like those little hanging chads, so kind of be careful not to rip it, but if you do, you know what, you can always glue it back together. So we're grabbing that guy right there. Then we're going to grab this tall one. Has like little berries or something on the top of it. Okay, that one's very, oops, lovely too. We're going to go over to this one, and we're going to punch out one of these tickets. Doesn't matter which one, grab whichever one you want, but one of them has the number 21 on it. We're going to grab one of these tickets. Again, doesn't matter what color. I'm going to do the pink one. If you want a different color, by all means, pick a different color. We're going to pick a postage stamp. I'm going to go with the green one. You can go with the orange one, go with whatever you want. It's the nice thing about these different laser cuts. They all have the same shape, but different colors. And then we're going to go for this blue one down there. So those are the guys that we're going to pick on there. And then we got to select a butterfly. And there's tons of butterflies, so pick your favorite or pick the one I do. It's whatever you want. I'm going to go for this butterfly right here in the bottom. I love the turquoise and green. I just thought that was stunning. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We need another butterfly. We need another turquoise little baby butterfly. This one right here. We're going to do that one. Aren't all these butterflies lovely? Tons of butterflies. Okay, so there's that butterfly. Okay, so that's it for the laser cuts. Then we're going to go over to the paper collection. Remember I said there were some punch outs in the paper collection? We're going to go over there and grab those. And we're going to grab this one right here. And we're going to do the outer frame. We're grabbing the whole thing. Whole kit and caboodle. Okay. And we are going to punch this out just the center. So we're doing just what I would call like the Polaroid portion of it. Looks like a little Polaroid. We're going to punch that out. Okay. And then I'm going to ink. Ink, ink, ink. The Polaroid, all the white pieces, I'm going to ink those. The little flowers and stuff, I don't really ink all my... I usually ink straight edges. So like ticket stubs, stamps, things like that that have straight edges, I ink. I'm not even attempting to ink like those florals and things, okay? So anything with a straight edge, give it a little bit of ink. Again, I'm using Vintage Photo. You guys can use whatever brown that floats your boat. It makes you happy. Maybe you want to do it in black. Black would be nice too, because since we did it on black cardstock, that would kind of accent it also. Okay. Then we're going to grab some foam. I'm using two different widths. I'm using the 108 and the 54 because I want some mediums and I want some lows. Some lows and some mediums. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of lay it out a little bit. So I want my frame to be on here, and I kind of want this guy, he's going to kind of peekaboo behind it, like so. But when I put this guy on, we're going to tuck him in. I'm going to tuck him, but I want to be able to read my sentiment on that frame behind it. Does that make sense? So I'm just going to kind of maneuver them and overlap them until I can make sure I can read the joy is in the little things. Because, well, the whole point of putting a sentiment on, you want to be able to read it. Once I have it to where I can read it, okay, we can read it, I'm going to spot check it with some glue. Okay, so I'm just going to lift it. Well, I shifted it. Oh, shift. Okay, that's where she's going. I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on the back of this frame. So what I'm doing is I'm gluing the frame kind of to that piece. Okay. Just a little bit of spot check. Doesn't have to be a lot. It's just so it holds on to it, so it doesn't shift on us. Okay, and then I've got my little greenery piece in here, kind of overlapping. And I'm going to do the same thing with a couple leaves. I'm just going to spot check it so it'll stay put. Just in a couple spots, okay? Just spot check it. So then that way the whole thing is one piece, and then we can flip it over now and put our pops on the back side. So I'm going to put what I call the low foam on the frame. And then let me flip it here. And then on these leaves and things here, I'm going to put a little bit higher. I'm going to put my little micro dots. Okay. I'm going to put some little micro dots on those. So it kind of is going to give it a different lift. And I'm kind of putting them on the back of the berries. And we can add some more once we kind of flip it and see what else needs a little lift. Okay. Oh, I guess you got to peel those off too. Foam tape sticks better if you peel the backing off. Okay, we're going to bring our card back in. And we're just going to kind of bring that at an angle again. I like to go off my card. If you don't like to go off your card, that's okay too. But then we're going to just press her down just like that. Isn't that lovely? Okay. Then we've got this little greenery branch, and he's going to kind of layer in here on the top just to add a little bit more layer. And we're going to put foam, we'll put little micro dots on the back of the top leaves. So I'll say these 3 top leaves, we're going to put foam, and then I'll just put liquid here and glue it down because it's going to be layered behind something else. And then we'll just kind of put that in there and layer it. Again, if you want to hang it off your card, great. If not, scoochier in. And then I'll just put a little liquid on the bottom and press those down. Okay, so that's what we got so far. How you guys doing? Looking good? Okay, so then we have our little tickets and tags that we're going to cluster. And I'm just going to kind of cluster these off of there. So we're going to add a little liquid glue. And this is what I love to do with tags and tickets. I love to just cluster them. Just build some fun little clusters in different layers. We got the pink. And anytime I cluster and layer, I'm always overlapping. Like nothing is lined up straight. Everything's kind of askewed and overlapping. Okay, so there is our cluster. And then I'm going to put the medium foam tape on the back of that one. So that's the one that we call the 54. And then we're just going to kind of cluster that in the bottom corner. Kind of have our little branches and things poking out. We have our butterflies. And of course, anytime you have a butterfly, you have to flip their wings, zhuzh them. And then I'm just going to put a little bit of liquid right there on his belly and glue him down. And add them to that cluster. And then our last butterfly, we're going to put up here at the top. How's everybody doing? People watching, anybody crafting along this time? I want to say I am enjoying the new time slot, so I hope you guys are also. And then I said just to have some gems or pearls, something in gold. These are the pink fresh pearls. And we're just going to kind of randomly sprinkle them. I put 2 down here. I put 3 up there. We're just going to kind of randomly put the little gems. Okay, I always dot my glue. Then I take my gem picker upper and I just pick up my little gem and place. And there you go. There's card number 1. How are we doing? I love this collection. Katie just designed some of the most beautiful papers. Okay, let me set that to the side to let it dry. Okay, next one, like I said, we're going kind of quick and easy cards. So this one, you're going to want a black card base, just a black card base again. And this time we're not using any of the pattern paper because I felt like the die cuts really popped on this black. So you got your black card base. We're going to go into these tags. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I used all of them. So we're going to punch out all 6 of these tags. And then it has a straight edge on it. So it is going to get inked brown. This technique that I did with this, I used it because these tags, I love the tags. I thought they were fun. But you can totally do it too with scrap pieces of paper. It's a great way to use your scraps up. Okay, in this laser cut over here, you're going to punch out the one that says creative. Okay, creative. And then the last thing we need to do is go to our laser cuts and look for that beautiful little bird. I loved that little bird and the blue branches. Like, how stunning is that? Okay. All right, so everything gets some ink. Ink up all of your little tagged pieces. And by adding the ink to them, it just stops the eye and it makes them have their own distinguished little edge. If I was just to layer all these on top of each other, it just kind of runs them together and it's blah. And it looks like, it just looks like what I call like a sticker sneeze. It looks like we just threw it on there. By inking the edge, when you lay it on now, you can see that it's two individual different pieces of paper. It's not just one paper with a giant collage on it. So there is a rhyme and reason and method in my head. All of these little pieces that we're inking up, they're going to get glued flat. They do have a little hole in the top that if you want, you could punch that out and then run some jute or some string or something through them, and that would be cute too. And then it gives a little fiber look to your card. Adds a little bit more dimension if you want to. Also going to ink the little strip that says creative. Anytime I see the word creative, I want to add like a little bumblebee to it. For be creative, get it? Okay, everything's inked up. Now, it doesn't matter what order you do them in. You can do them in the same order. You can switch the order up. All these strips are going to be glued down flat. The first one I started with is this one that has the leaves on it. And we're just going to kind of go in and we're going to stagger it. Okay, just like that. The next one has the teal branch and butterfly. And we're just going to come down a little bit and over a little bit. So we're just layering the pieces in. Like I said, it would be really cute to just cut scrap pieces of paper and do the same idea. The next one has the purple flower on it. And the next one has a little lamb. Again, each time we do it, we're overlapping and just kind of staggering it up and down at different heights. Kind of add more interest to the eye. Next one has the turquoise flower. I guess I didn't use them all because I have a pile of extra ones here. And then the last one I used has the ledger on it. So I did not use the butterfly or the green flower. Okay, the ledger. Okay. Then we have the creative. I'm going to put low foam all the way across the back of it. And then our little bird. And I'm going to put pops on the back of him. We're going to pop him up. And what I love about these laser cuts is they're double-sided. So your bird can face the left, your bird can face the right. You can kind of switch it up however you want. Some little doggies trying to break in my door. Gotta give it the squish test. I don't think it's gonna pass. It needs another one there. Okay, and then we're just going to pop that little birdie. And then a little heart. I forgot we had a little heart too. And I'm going to pop the heart also. Last thing I did was, again, add some little gold gems, 2 up here, 2 up there. I think the gold just adds a little something, something, and it just makes it pop. Put a little squirt of glue, and then place my little gems. And there we have it. There's card number 2. How you guys doing? And that's stunning. Quick and easy, great way to use laser cuts. Also great way to use your scrap papers. Okay, next one. Another quick one. This one right here. I loved this piece of paper. This piece of paper was stunning and I just didn't want to cover it. So we're going to cut it the same size as we did our other one earlier. Which is the 4 by 5 1/4, because it is a 6 by 8 piece of paper, so you can get 2 cards out of it. We're going to sit it in our trimmer sideways and cut it at 4 inches, so we have the flower part. And then I ended up cutting off this end. Ended up cutting off that flower. So we're going to put it at 5 1/4. Measure once, measure twice, cut once. Okay, so there's that. We're going to ink it. You betcha. Flat surface gets inked. Okay, so we're just going to glue that to the back side of a black piece of paper again, just matting it on there. And then we're going to go find some pretty butterflies, because there's tons of them. So this one, I punched out this one because I had a little bit of yellow on it because there was a yellow butterfly too in the background. And then I just found a butterfly. It was kind of the same size as him, just to put right on top of them and kind of layer them. Where did that butterfly come from? Oh, right here. There he is. There's a lot of yellow on that page. Yellow butterfly. And then one of the sentiments. And I just did Seek Adventures. Whatever one you want. And again, flat surface. It's going to get inked. Okay, so the little butterfly, the little yellow one goes on top of the yellow one. Just going to fold his wings up and put liquid right there on his belly. And just layer them on right there. And then same thing to the blue butterfly. We're just going to bend his wings a little bit. Put some glue on his belly. Now on the sentiment, I kind of went back and forth. You can either pop it or you can put it flat. I kind of decided to put it flat. And I went all the way to the edge. Okay. Then we're going to do some rub-ons, some more random rub-ons. I'm going to go over to the sheet that kind of just has like random scripts. And we're going to chunk out some of those. And we're just going to kind of layer them in behind these butterflies. I put a little bit here, a little bit here, a little bit there. I love rub-ons. Anybody else addicted to rub-ons? Like, I must collect them all. But then also use them. And the rub-ons come off like butter. As you can see, I'm just using my fingernail. And they come off so easy. And it just adds a little something something there. Isn't that nice? It's just a little extra in the background. Okay, so I put some there. I'm going to put some over here. So tomorrow will be the announcement of Crafty Hour number 93, which is actually, we kind of sneak peeked it a little bit and let you guys know. It's going to be another collection by Arden. It's actually the Christmas line, the Christmas cheer, and it is stunning, guys. So there's going to be some great add-ons that go with it. Ken is currently checking them in right now. There's laser cuts and papers and enamel dots. There's, I think, some stencils, some stamps. It is a beautiful collection. So that will be Crafty Hour number 93, and that will go live tomorrow at 11 o'clock Central. And Deanna will be jumping on to give you guys the reveal. The event has already been created on Facebook, so you can click that you're attending. That way, Facebook will give you a notification when we go live. And then I will be on plugging the links while Deanna is walking you through the kit. And follow the links and you guys can reserve and purchase your kits at that time. And we want to thank everybody for purchasing the Crafty Hour kits from us. That's what allows us to keep doing this and keep doing them over and over. So if you guys are enjoying the Crafty Hour kits, or Crafty Hours that we're doing, please purchase the kits from us. And then that way you can support us and we can continue to design and do the Crafty Hours. Okay, guess what, guys? We're adding gems. We're adding gems. This time I just did a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And I always alter the sizes. I always do like a small, medium, large. I always kind of alter them. I don't ever do like the same size. And then don't forget, if you guys miss a crafty hour or if you have to replay the crafty hour, Facebook does delete these after 30 days, but we download them and you can find them on our YouTube channel. So Scrapbook-N-Memories has a YouTube channel. You currently can find all 90 crafty hours so far. And then Clipper Street also has a YouTube. So make sure to go follow both of those. Okay, there's card number 3. I think we'll be able to get the last one in. I was worried with 4 cards we wouldn't get them in, but these are kind of quick, easy, and simple. And like I said, it really showcases this beautiful paper, this beautiful patterns. I just didn't want to cover a whole lot because they did such a beautiful job making these papers. Okay, last paper we got to look for is probably a backside. It is a very large kind of script. Oh, there's the back of my pad. That's what your paper pad looks like, guys, that your paper came out of. Looks like that, if anybody was still hunting. So we're looking for this one right here, this large one. And it has that on the back side. I originally tried to work this piece in, and it was just too busy for what I was doing. So we're going to use the back side. We're going to cut it 4 inches again. Paper is perfect. I love it when vendors do 6x8 paper pads because you can get 2 out of a 6x8 paper pad, 2 cards out of 1 sheet. A 6x6 you can only get 1 page. An 8x8 you can only get 1 page, but a 6x8 you can get 2. So I love that because the way the prints are. I think I threw away the wrong one. Yep, I pitched the wrong one. Okay, let me grab that one. Okay, so there's our 4, and then we're going to flip it. We're going to leave the big words at the top. We're going to leave those, and we're going to cut it at 5 1/4. 5 1/4. Okay. Quite the mess going on. Everybody else make a huge mess in just an hour? It's so easy. Okay, we're going to ink this brown. Brown, brown, brown. We're doing good on time. We got 8 minutes. Perfect. What is my YouTube? YouTube, it should be Scrapbook. It'll be Scrapbook with a hyphen, letter N, hyphen memories. If you go to our website, scrapbook-n-memories.net, there should be a link up in the top right-hand corner that you guys can click on, and that should take you to it also. Okay. Any other questions? Looking to see if there's any other questions. Okay, so last black card paste. You guessed it. We're just going to glue it flat, and it's going right in the center. This design kind of reminds me of a Tim Holtz stamp set. It's an olden but golden that I have, where the butterflies are stacked, and it has the random script behind it. I think the stamp set is called Papillon or Papilloni. That was kind of my inspiration for this. I was like, oh, I love how it has a random script with stacked butterflies. It's one of my favorite stamp sets. So that's kind of what inspired me on this card. It's one of my favorite stamp sets. Okay, so we're going to our laser cuts, and we got to find 4 butterflies. Again, use whatever butterflies you guys want, but I'm going to use this brown one right there. And then it looks like I got to go to the next one. Then I'm going to use this big yellow one in the corner. Big, beautiful yellow one. This gorgeous turquoise. Oh, Karen is putting the link on there. Okay, perfect. Perfect. She's got the link to find it easier. Because evidently I'm not YouTube smart. I fake it till I make it. Okay. So we got our 3 butterflies. Or 4 butterflies. We're just going to stack them, guys. Just easy peasy. We're going to stack them. I do like to lay them out first, just to make sure I have, you know, proper spacing that looks good. There we go. And then you guessed it, everybody gets a foam square. It's like Oprah's favorite things. And you get a foam square, and you get a foam square. Everybody gets a foam square. Okay, and then I thought it needed a little something, something. So you guessed it. Each butterfly belly is going to get a little gold gem. I put a small one, and then a medium and a medium. See if I have any smalls left in my bucket. I do. And then, of course, you can add your sentiment or add something on here too. I couldn't decide on a sentiment. I just didn't like the ones that were left in the laser set. So I just left it blank so I can add something to it later, because maybe I want it to be a birthday card. Maybe I want it to be a thank you or thinking of you. So I will add that sentiment at a later point in time. So look at that, guys. We are right at perfect timing. So thank you so much. Let me pull them all back out. Thank you so much for joining me for Crafty Hour number 91. This is Kourtney here at Scrapbook-N-Memories in Harrisonville, Missouri. And we have 4 fabulous cards with this beautiful collection from Arden. So thank you so much for joining me and crafting along. And we will see you tomorrow at 11 o'clock Central for the next Crafty Hour reveal. Bye-bye.